What's up, YouTube? It's Randy Orton Fan 2011, and I'm back here once again for round 14 of 36 in Season 3 of the PORWC Pepsi Cup Series. This is the TD Bank 400, brought to you here from Buffalo Bull Ring Speedway here in Buffalo, New York. Joining me here in the broadcast booth is one of my fellow PORWC members, NSCRA president, and the founder of the NSCRA Sports Channel. He is Seth Cole. How are you doing, my man?
Doing good. Looking forward to this race, a track I've never seen before, and so it's going to be probably not only a learning process for the drivers, but for me as well to see how these cars are going to work here at this track.
So I want to say this. This is just over a mile here, right around the length of New Hampshire. But this track is not like New Hampshire. This track is very similar to Charlotte, or Atlanta, or Texas. So this is a fairly fast intermediate track with its length. So what do you think is going to be the strategy for all these guys?
Oh, I think that the strategy for these guys basically is just basically try and pretend that they were doing what they did in qualifying. Go down on the bottom line, try and hold their position, and pretend that the other cars aren't out there. I mean, I know that'd be pretty difficult for them to do, but here at a track where you know absolutely nothing about it except for practice and qualifying, you basically have to just try and trust your instincts and hope that you're going to be around for the finish.
All right, well, we're just about ready to get this started, but let's take a look at the starting lineup. As look at your starting lineup, and by chance, our co-commentator Seth Cole is starting on the pole. And right next to him is Cody Lamas, who came up with his best finish of the season last week at the Meadowlands. So Cody Lamas looking to follow up with that third place finish, his first podium finish. There is our points leader, Ryan Richards. He has been on a roll, Seth. I'll tell you that. 3 wins in 4 races, and he's looking to make it 4 for 5 here.
Yeah, he's right now making a statement towards the championship. He's saying, if you're going to beat me, you got to beat me here in the regular season, because when I get to the chase, I'm not going to let up on you either. And right now, nobody seems to have been able to touch Ryan Richards. And I'll tell you what, right now, he may not win the championship at the end of the season. I don't want to jinx him, but I'll tell you, right now, he is racing like a champion.
He is definitely a true championship threat to Dylan Poteet, and Dylan Poteet is actually starting back in the 27th position. So the guy who's actually third in the points, I think he's gonna have to do some work here to get back in the championship picture here. Well, we're just about ready to fire up these engines. Let's get it started. Engines have been fired up. Let's go. 40 laps here at Buffalo. Take a look if any of the cars will have any problems prior to the start of this race. Good news, that will not be the case right here. Now, we want to pay attention to Ryan Richards, because he's been on quite a roll. He's been in 3 wins in the past 4 races, so you want to pay a lot of attention to him, don't you think, Seth?
Absolutely, and with the fact that he's starting right up here at the front again, he's brought yet another fast car to yet another track. Keep your eyes on him. There seems like he just can't be stopped.
Well, some cars didn't quite get going, especially towards the back of the pack here. That's going to bunch these guys up, as we've already taken the green flag. Let's pay attention here to the back of the pack, because they're all bunched up right here. They're all bunched up as we take a look at our bird's eye view camera. Oh, some guys get hit in the wall there. Some guys are hitting the wall. We made it through 1 green flag lap. Good news right there. And somehow we're able to keep it intact so far. Everyone pretty much single file, and everyone, the front is starting to go single file now at this point.
Kind of interesting. That outside line's getting a little bit of a run. Not as well as the inside line, but it does have a little bit of momentum when you come off the corners.
So you want it. So now you want to play the line game. You want to play which line do you want to play on? Do you want to go on the outside, have the momentum coming off the turn, or do you want to have the inside, have the shorter distance going into the turn? So there's going to be another question mark right there in this race. So it made it 3 laps without a yellow flag. Good news right there. And now they're really starting to bunch up here towards the back of the pack.
Yeah, they are. They're starting to feel maybe a little bit of a sense of urgency, trying to get up there to the front. And, oh, man, they are getting awfully close coming off turn 2 there. Makes me nervous every time they do that.
And this is a short track, so there's not a lot of room. And right here, we're taking a look at our defending champ, Dylan Poteet, who's stuck in the middle.
Yeah, I think I can think of several dozen places on the track I'd rather be than right there, but looks like James McLeod's going to back out there. Oh, no, that's Ricky Hawk. He's going to back out, so Poteet's going to be safe for now, but there's still 3 wide behind him. Good grief.
Seth Cole's still the leader, and now it's Ryan Richards second, Ty Naughton third, Callum Wells fourth, Cody Lamas runs at the top 5. So now you got a Chevy, Ford, and 3 Toyotas. I know Charles Jackson's happy about that, but he wants his Toyotas in victory lane, of course. But the most ironic thing is that he's driving a Ford, so I don't think he wants to see Toyota in victory lane now.
Maybe not.
We've gone 6 laps without a yellow flag. Very interesting to see this kind of racing going on. And now we got some battles here towards the back of the pack. We got a lot of 3 wide here. 3 wide. Look out. 3 wide. 3 wide for well towards the back of the pack. And now they're starting to kind of fan out here a little bit as everyone's just starting to get in line here. Everyone's starting to get in line now. Still haven't seen the yellow flag come out. That's already good news right there. But again, it might happen towards the back of the pack here where all the passing is going on as of now. And again, another 3-wide situation.
Yeah, oh man, they just seem to accordion up there coming out of turn 2. They give each other lots of room, as you can see right here in the turn 3 area. But as soon as they come off of turn 2 and turn 4, they seem to accordion up right up against each other. And I'm shocked that they don't make contact with each other. Because, as you said, there's not a lot of room at this track.
This is a short track, so there's not really a lot of room for passing, you know, so everyone's pretty much trying to survive, especially here towards the back of the pack, because if you're here in the back of the pack, it's pretty much survival from this point on.
Yeah, it basically is, and also the fact of these drivers have never been at this track before, so, you know, if you end up having a wreck ahead of you, they haven't had the experience of knowing where's the best place to go in order to avoid that wreck. So they're basically trying to feel this track out right now, plus get to the front at the same time. So they're having to multitask here under the green flag at just about 170 miles an hour. So, you know, they're having to think of several things at once here at a brand new track. They're basically students at this point.
Well, now everyone's starting to fan out now. Everyone's pretty much starting to line up single file, so we won't see much passing going on, but we will cycle through the field often to see, just to make sure that everyone stays intact, because there might be a couple of passes going on. But of course, we still haven't seen a yellow flag come out, and that's always good news.
Looks like that gap between the leader Seth Cole and the guy running second, the points leader Ryan Richards, looks like it's slowly starting to close up there.
Well, actually, Seth Cole actually ran a better lap time than Ryan Richards there. He ran 3/100ths of a second faster than Ryan Richards in the previous lap. So Seth Cole is still your leader as the pole sitter. And everyone is now single file, so it looks like we're not going to see much passing going on unless someone gets a huge momentum boost.
You know, as you've been cycling there through the back of the pack, we've seen Dylan Poteet back there, but driver who comes in second in points, Anthony McCurry, he's having a tough time making passes there too, trying to get himself up there to the front.
He's 25th.
As I think he just cracked the top 25, but man, he needs to get going here. He's having a tough time getting to the front as quickly as possible here, and you know, apparently it's showing right there. It's very difficult to make passes at this racetrack.
Yeah, and we still haven't, well, now we might see some passing going on here, right here. James McLeod trying to pass Luke Martin for 33rd, but this is really an irrelevant battle because, I mean, this is happening towards the back of the pack, and again, like you said before, you want to have that momentum on the outside line, but James McLeod is making the inside line work.
Yeah, and I'm also noticing that when these drivers do go too wide, at least back here in the middle and the back of the pack, when the rest of the cars come up to the back bumper of those two cars battling side by side, it makes an opportunity for yet another driver back there, like maybe the six of Emilio Navarrete, to get the inside of Dylan Poteet. So it's almost as if a double wide battle breeds other double wide battles. That's a very interesting thing going on there.
Well, Luke Martin just lost the 33rd position to James McLeod, and again, this is probably the only battle that we might have as we try to cycle through the field. Everyone else is pretty much single file, but now the top three is starting to close up just a little bit.
Yeah, it is. It really is. I mean, I think a big reason is because, I mean, I know this is not a restrictor plate track, but you see it at short tracks and intermediate tracks as well. If you have a car running right behind you in the exact same line you are, it cuts the wind and allows you to be able to pick up a little bit more speed than the cars ahead of you. And I think that's what we saw right there when Ty Naughton was running right behind Ryan Richards. It helped them to kind of close up the ground between themselves and the leader, Seth Cole.
Well, I thought Ty Naughton was going to make a move right there, but then again, he lost a lot of speed coming into turn 3, so he's going to have to wait for a little bit, as now we're just about past the halfway point. Still haven't seen a yellow flag out. Always good news. So hopefully we won't have any cars DNF from this race, but I think some guys who might have a tough breaker are like Danny Wells running all the way in the back, second to last. And he really needs to get some momentum going on, and it's not going to happen probably not going to happen this time.
No, it doesn't look like it. I mean, basically all these guys at the back right now, they're just hoping and praying a caution's going to happen and hoping they won't be the caution. But with them running single file all the way through this field, I really don't see that happening at any time soon.
Get back to the lead battle here at Seth Cole, Ryan Richards, Ty Naughton, Callum Wells, Cody Lom sets the top 5. Seth Cole has already led at the halfway point, so he has gotten all those bonus points, and now he's going to lead yet another lap. So Seth Cole, our co-commentator, will get 3 bonus points, 1 for leading a lap, 1 for leading at the halfway point, and another for leading the most laps. So some big bonus points for Seth Cole, and that is really needed for the guy who came in 4th in the points.
Yeah, and especially with the fact that drivers such as Dylan Poteet and Anthony McCurry are running at the back of the pack right now, about mid-pack. So this is a big opportunity for Seth Cole to capitalize, maybe move up into the runner-up spot in the points, because right now I don't think there's really going to be a battle for the points lead, because there's the points leader in second place.
Yes, but again, like you said earlier, Dylan Poteet having a tough time passing here. Everyone having a tough time passing here. In 34th, Dylan Poteet in 34th, second in points, Anthony McCurry back in 25th, I think. Yes, he is, 25th. So everyone having a tough time passing. 17 laps to go now, and again, now we're seeing these 3 start to bunch up again. Now we're seeing the top 3.
Yeah, they are. They're starting to bunch up one more time, and I'm not exactly certain just exactly why Ryan Richards ended up losing a little bit of ground to Seth Cole the last time he was up on the back bumper. It may have been the fact that Ty Naughton ended up having that little wiggle and ended up losing Ryan Richards, but right now, it's almost looking like Ryan Richards, he's continuing on that streak of success that he's had, as he seems like he is maybe at this point sizing up Seth Cole for a pass for the lead.
Well, he's probably going to, well, it's 15 laps to go now, so Ryan Richards got plenty of time, but I don't think that's a lot of time considering that Seth Cole is one of the hottest veterans ever in the Pepsi Cup Series. He's already got, I believe, 4 wins so far, and he's already had a win this season, I believe back in Mexico City. Am I correct?
That is correct,
so
yes.
Seth Cole looking for his 2nd win of the season. Ryan Richards looking for his 4th. Then you got Ty Naughton looking for his best finish of the season. Currently in 3rd, looking for the podium finish. Then his teammate Callum Wells is not really being much of a help right now in 4th. And there's Cody Lamas is also looking for, I believe, his 2nd straight top 5 finish. So Cody Lamas. And you mentioned before, you see when drivers have such a bad season, like Cody Lamas is having, then all of a sudden they get into some big runs like Cody Lamas is right now, and they could really become threats later on to the second half of this regular season.
Yeah, it's really incredible how a finish can kind of impact the next few races that follow. Drivers that are on a major momentum run, if they end up having a DNF, before you know it, it almost seems like you see them DNFing in the next 3 or 4 events. On the flip side, if a driver that's not doing well ends up getting a nice top 10 finish or a nice podium finish or even a win, then the next thing you know, you see them finishing top 10 for the next few weeks. It's incredible just exactly how much of a momentum shift one single finish can be for a driver's career.
Well, we're just about 11 laps to go now. Get back to the back of the pack here, and still, and the frame rate's getting low. Sorry about that, but not much passing going on again. Well, now we gotten some action going on here, but this is for 39th. This is not the kind of battle we wanted to cover, but this is the only only battle we got so far. Oh no, we go. Here we go. We got something over here. Sam Young and Jake Cole. Jake Cole having a terrible season after the win at Phoenix, and you got to feel for Jake Cole. Hasn't been really having a much season, but again, when you're with BK Racing, you just really don't have the equipment there.
Yeah, that's true, but there has been times when you see these underfunded teams all of a sudden pull out really good finishes. I mean, take Ryan Richards. Not really the best team in Front Row Motorsports, but hey, look at the success he's been able to have.
Of course, he is our points leader, and all these powerhouse teams, RCR, Richard Childress, Joe Gibbs, Michael Waltrip Racing, and of course Hendrick, my favorite. 8 laps to go this time by. Seth Cole still in control. Cycle through the field again. It doesn't look like anything else is happening, and I really feel for this guy, Emilio Navarrete. He's just been having a very tough season so far. Bottom 10 after bottom 10, and then some bottom 5 finishes. Just came up with his best finish of the season in 15th at the Meadowlands, and the tough season continues for Emilio Navarrete.
Yeah, I mean, this is really probably heartbreaking for him, the fact that he's running up to speed with these cars, and yet he's running all the way back in 35th place. It's really got to have him have a sinking feeling inside, and I really can't say what they can do to turn that team's luck around, because he always seems like he's a contender each and every week. Just circumstances seem to work out not in his favor, and so it's really a tough break there for Emilio Navarrete and that 6 team, but they just really need a good finish to try and help boost the morale.
It's even more surprising that he's with Roush, one of the powerhouse teams. It's just that maybe the 6 team doesn't have quite the equipment. They might need some help, and actually 2 of the Roush teams are not really in the best position so far. The 6 and the 99 actually of Ben Paul. They're both in the bottom 2 in the points. So, and Ben Paul's having a pretty solid day in 14th. So that's going to make Emilio Navarrete lose even more ground in the points. Going to put him in a much deeper hole.
Yeah, I mean, Navarrete in the 6, that's not unfamiliar to me. He's driven the 6 in 2 seasons over my Snickers Cup series. So, and in those races, it's really seemed like he and that 6 team work really well together. But it's incredible here that marriage, quotes, is not really working out for him, because I've seen him have some success there with Roush Fenway Racing, but just not happening for him this
Danny
season.
Wells, I believe, is the best of the Roush cars, but in the points. But again, Danny Wells having a terrible season. Where's the other Roush car of Dylan Young? He's actually the best of the Roush cars. And again, Roush Fenway Racing, not the best day here. Not the best day here at Roush Fenway.
No,
especially
not
for a
at all.
powerhouse team. And then you got, I believe, Dylan Young, 32nd. I believe he's 3rd in the points. So Dylan Young is not probably the guy you would see here towards the back, and even Dylan Poteet, our defending champ.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're seeing quite a few drivers who are up there in the points driving Fords, Poteet and Dylan Young, as you mentioned, and they're really not having the best of runs here. I think Dylan Young's running 32nd, so tell you, this is definitely what I'm seeing right now. This is going to be a point shakeup. Maybe not for the points lead, but definitely for all the spots inside the top 10.
White flag is out. Half a lap to go for Seth Cole. Pretty much dominated this race, and again, Seth Cole running very similar lap times to everyone else. Here they come off turn 4. And for the second time this season, Seth Cole is a winner in the Pepsi Cup Series. And again, no one will spoil the race, because guess who won? The co-commentator!
Well, the amazing thing is that this is the second race that I've co-commentated with you where I've ended up going to victory lane, so I gotta co-commentate with you more often.
I wish, man. I wish, but I think you can do that later on sometime, maybe during a playoff race, I guess. But again, congratulations, man. Big deserved win for you.
Yeah, and especially this is a very important win too. Not only with the fact that we ended up being able to beat the points leader, but it's a track that we've never been at. So having to learn the track as we went along and try and figure out what was the best line, that really was a key factor for us in case we end up returning to this track next season.
Congratulations on the win, Seth, and a pretty good race here. No cautions. We went caution-free. Nobody DNF'd, so looks like I won't have to give any DNFs. Everyone will have a car intact, so that's pretty much good news for every team, except for those who finished in the back, of course.
Yeah, but you know what? they're basically going to use this as a learning experience. I think they're not really going to go to the mentality of, well, we had a terrible finish today, we never want to see this track again. Instead, they're going to basically go back, look at the data, see what ended up happening with their cars as far as the telemetry is concerned, and use that to their advantage next time that we head to this track.
Well, now let's take you to your official race results. Here's a look at your official race results. Well, Seth, congratulations on your second win of the season. Now I know no one's going to spoil the race, that's for sure.
Nope, no one's going to spoil this one.
All right, well, and Ryan Richards so close to his fourth win in 5 races, but, you know, that's a podium finish, and that is huge. That is huge.
I don't think you'll hear any complaining out of that 34 team. I think they'll be pretty happy still with a second place finish.
Ty Naughton. How about Ty Naughton? Came out of nowhere. Was able to run with Ryan Richards and Seth Cole, and he comes away with a podium finish. That's his best finish of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. He had a great qualifying spot, and he capitalized on that. And really, when you think about it, when we saw that whole race, nobody ever even got up to Ty Naughton's back bumper. It was a 3-car breakaway for most of this race, and so Ty Naughton showed that he had a car just as fast as the 2 guys who finished ahead of him.
And how about this? Callum Wales, Cody Lamas, 4th and 5th. These guys are on quite a roll. These 2 were the guys that finished 2nd and 3rd back in the Meadowlands. Here they are 4th and 5th. And do you think that this might be a turn for the good for these 2?
You know what? It's certainly looking like it. It's got all the different looks of a career or a season turning around for both those Toyota drivers. So, you know what? I guess the deciding factor is going to be next week, but right now, I would definitely say yes, those 2 are on the right track.
6th or 10th, Trent Dunham, great run by him. Jacob Lawler, and again, he's in the top 10 in points, so big run for Jacob Lawler, ending up 7th. Joseph Lombard with a top 10, surprisingly in 8th. Sean Galligan, I know he's going to be happy with a top 10 finish. And Pichu London, 3 Richard Childress cars. Good day for Richard Childress Racing. 3 cars in the top 10.
Absolutely. Chevrolet was doing really well today for not only the RCR, but also with Hendrick and also with Trent Dunham there for Stewart Haas Racing.
Yeah, so good runs for those guys. And then Joseph Lombard with Phoenix Racing. Don't forget, they're like I believe they're a 1-car team, so this is a big top 10 for them.
Absolutely, no doubt about that.
Go through the rest of the field. 11th through 20th now are Ryan Cooper, Liam Ervig, Lyndon Wright, Ben Paul, Kyle Sosnowski, Richard Johnson, Barney Ward, Randy Carpenter, William Duncan, and Sean Henley. 21st to 30th are Michael Norman, Alex Jones, John Waycross, Zohar Manood, Anthony McCrory, James Qualls, Stephen Whitman, Eric Burton, Red Bell, and Sam Young. And I believe Anthony McCrory finishing 25th, he's going to take a big hit. He's not going to take that much of a hit, but he's going to take quite a hit in the points.
You know, it's kind of a win-lose situation for him. He did pick up some spots on the racetrack, did finish better than where he started, but still 25th when the guy that you're trying to run down in the points ended up finishing 2nd. That is going to cause a little bit of problem with him as far as his mission to try and get the points lead.
Bottom 12 are Jake Cole, Dylan Young, James McLeod, Dylan Poteet, Emilio Navarrete, Luke Martin, Charles Jackson, Tony Blazer, Ricky Hawk, Wolfgang Mason, Danny Wells, and Brandon Bain. And with here in the bottom 12, we see a lot of powerhouses: Dylan Young, James McLeod, Dylan Poteet, Charles Jackson, and Danny Wells. So a lot of those powerhouses, like 5 powerhouses in the Pepsi Cup Series, fallen outside the top 30. So disappointing days for those. And for Emilio Navarrete, going to be a tough season for him.
It is, and I'll tell you one thing that a lot of those drivers right there in that bottom 12 had in common. Seemed like the whole race they had a tough time keeping their car down on the bottom line when they were all getting racy there with the 3 and double wide racing. And that's why they slipped to the back the way they did. But I think the 2 biggest hits in the points they're going to be taking here were both the Dylans, Young and Poteet. They came in top 5 in points, and they both finished outside the top 30. So they're going to have to try and recover next week.
Yeah, so tough breaks for both the Dylans here. But, well, I know one guy's happy about this race, and that is our co-commentator, Seth Cole. So congratulations, your 2nd win of the season. I know that's going to be huge momentum heading into the playoffs.
No doubt about it. This is definitely something that we were looking for, something that's going to be very useful to our steps of trying to win the championship here this season.
All right, well, Seth, I appreciate you co-commentating this race with me and again, winning the race. So good job on your part, and thank you for co-commentating this race with me, and hope to do this again some other time so that you can win your 3rd race or maybe more.
Hey, that'd be good. It'd move my record to 3-3. But thanks for having me.
All right, well, thank you very much, too. This is Randy Orton, Fan 2011, signing off. This race has been brought to you by Pepsi Next. Crisp, refreshing, amazing Pepsi Next. Subscribe to me and become a member of the gang. I'm out.